Welcome to Spotlight on Stage, our first show of 2025. I'm Michelle Eagleton. I'm the arts and culture correspondent for I Love Manchester, and this is where you find me every Monday. Yes, this is where I bring you the latest theatre news, interviews with stars from the stage, and a what's on guide to what's on at theatres across Greater Manchester this week. But this episode is a little bit different because I'm going to be taking a look at a few things to get excited about in 2025. Yes, there's so many brilliant productions coming our way. But first, let's take a look at 2024 because I've been asking you on Facebook what have been your favourite shows? What have wowed you? What would you love to see again and again and again? Well, I can tell you there was a resounding response to one show in particular, and that was Blood Brothers. Yes, the Willie Russell classic might be an oldie, but it definitely is a goodie. And when it came to the Palace Theatre, so many people out there loved it. I need to give a shout out to a few of you who chose this particular production. Lizzie, Darren, Suzanne, Joan, Emma. There were so many of you, but of course, it is a classic set in Liverpool following twins separated at birth. It's got some great songs in there. It pulls out the heartstrings and it is very, very funny too. So a big shout out to everyone who voted for that one and also to the production itself. Well done. But that wasn't the only show that was a hit with audiences. Oh no, something brand new hit a chord with them as well. I'm talking about Burlesque the musical. Yes, the one that was based on the movie starring Cher and Christina Aguilera. It took to the stage in Manchester for its world premiere in June. It was that popular, it sold out on its first run and it came back in October where it again wowed audiences. And I've got to say, you absolutely adored it too. Starring as the main role was Jess Foley, taking on the iconic Christina Aguilera character. And the wonderful Todrick Hall was starring in it too. And he really was incredible. Mandy and Abigail, thank you for sharing your thoughts on Facebook and telling us how much you adored this musical. I do think there are big things ahead for that one. And talking of big things, big shows, and big puppets, well, Warhorse at the Lowry got a mention as well for being an outstanding production. Mandy said it was her favourite. She was bowled over by Joey the horse and the whole show from the National Theatre. Great to see Warhorse back again. And one show for me that really stood out was 42 Balloons. I don't know if you saw that at the Lowry. It was on at the Keys Theatre. Really good, based on a real life story about Lawn Chair Larry, who in the 80s decided to make his own flying machine out of, yes, you guessed it, a lawn chair. Hopefully, we will get to see that in the West End very soon. Fingers and toes crossed. Now, let's take a look at some of the things that are very exciting for 2025. Here's a little bit of a tease for you. Get your diaries out, you're going to need them. Well, get ready for a biggie. The Olivier, Tony, and Grammy Award winning Best Musical Dear Evan Hansen is on its way. It's going to be at the Palace Theatre as part of its UK tour, and it's coming in February, the 18th of February to Saturday, the 22nd of February. So, a short run. If you want to see it, then you're going to have to get in there quick. But what is it about? Well, of course, it's about Evan, an anxious high school kid who wants nothing more than to fit in. But the thing is, on the way to fitting in, he didn't tell the whole truth and now must give up on a life he never dreamt he'd have. There's some cracking music in this one, some of the best songs from the decade, including You Will Be Found, and starring as Evan, that iconic role is Ryan Coppell, who you may have seen in Newsies, and Alice Fern, who has starred in Wicked, Come From Away. She'll be playing Evan's mum, Heidi. The cast is brilliant, and I do think this is going to be one to watch. Staying with the Palace Theatre a little bit later in the year, you have got a little bit of Paris coming to Manchester in the form of Moulin Rouge, the musical. It's going to be here arriving in August, and if you've ever seen the film by Baz Luhrmann, you will know it is crazy, it is fabulous, it is camp, and it has got some cracking music and some brilliant dancing. It's been the winner of 10 Tony Awards, this musical, and it's a real mashup extravaganza celebrating truth, beauty, freedom, and above all, love. I think we're going to get a lot of glamour on this one, and it is great that it's coming on tour because this is the first time that it has toured, which is brilliant for us to get it here in Manchester. It comes from the 20th of August and runs all the way to the 4th of October. Get there if you can. See what I did there? Okay, I'm going to redeem myself here by letting the trailer speak for itself because the next one up is a world premiere. And guess what? It's coming to Manchester. Oh, I like the look of that one. And of course, it opens here before it goes to the West End, like all good musicals. They know Manchester audiences are the best. And if you want to be part of that audience, it's here from the 11th of April until the 10th of May at the Opera House. I believe it's going to be very funny and very rocky. So watch out. Now, something else that's having its world premiere here in Manchester and also based on a film like A Knight's Tale is 13 going on 30. Now, you might remember it was a hit film back in 2004 starring Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo. Well, this time around, you have got these at the helm, of course, led by the wonderful Lucy Jones. Look at that lineup. Now, it is a musical about the choices we make, the friends we choose, and the beauty of never losing your sparkle. There's going to be incredible original songs and a feel great reminder that being yourself never gets old because Jenna is 13 and she wishes for her birthday that she wants to be an adult. And of course, sometimes wishes come true and she becomes the editor of a fashion magazine. But is she going to be happy? Well, this totally grown up new musical comes to the Opera House from the 21st of September to the 12th of October. And I think it sounds absolutely fabulous. Oh, and talking of fabulous, there is one guy that just epitomizes all of that.
Hi, my name is Ramin Karamu. I'm here for the photo shoot for Nine the Musical, which is happening with the Hope Mill Theatre up in Manchester in February 2025, where I finally get to play Guido. I'm really excited to be singing more Yes and Score. I just was fortunate enough to do Titanic in New York for him and New York City Encores. So finally do Nine with his beautiful music. It's a real treat.
What a guy. Ramin is the star of Broadway and the West End. You might have seen him as the Phantom. You may have seen him in Les Mis and countless other productions. It is fantastic. He's coming to Lowry in Salford because that is where Hope Mills concert is going to be of 9. It's only for 2 nights, the 1st and the 2nd of February, and it's celebrating Hope Mills' 9th birthday. Can you believe that wonderful theatre in Ancoats has been here for 9 years? It puts on the most fantastic productions, and I'm sure this is going to be one of them. Joining Ramin on stage, you've got some fantastic female performers. You've got Ruthie Henshaw, Amber Davis, Victoria Hamilton Barrett, Melissa James, Josephina Gabrielle, Daniel Steers, and Zizzy Strallen. If you haven't got your tickets yet, I would definitely get in there quick. Now, if I was to say to you, I've got very beautiful lips, or do you like a bit of Demis Roussos? Then I'm sure you would know it was Abigail's Party by Mike Lee that I was talking about. That iconic production is winging its way to the Royal Exchange here in Manchester, and I cannot wait. Yes, it's taken us back to the height of 1970s suburbia, social class and ambition, with Beverly, the hostess with the mostess, inviting you to her cocktail party. The tracks are on the record player, the drinks are flowing, and there's even a bowl of olives. But they have got some exciting guests, the next door neighbors, because Abigail, their daughter, is having a party. Do go and see this if you can. It's going to be an epic modern classic at the Royal Exchange. It's coming in spring, and it's here from the 4th of April to the 17th of May. They have not announced the cast yet, but as soon as they do, I will let you know. Now, sticking with plays, here's one that is coming to Lowry, and you may have just read the book.
Hello, I'm Joanna Fletcher and I'm playing Rachel Watson in the stage adaptation of The Girl on the Train. The Girl on the Train is about Rachel, who becomes fascinated by a couple that she sees on her daily commute. She sees so much of what her future should have been in that couple. She becomes quite obsessed with them. The woman, she goes missing. Rachel basically takes it upon herself to try and get to the bottom of it. I love touring the UK with productions. I'm sure my husband doesn't love it when I go on tour, but we're taking it to the people. Reading this play, and I've read it a few times now, I'm literally in anticipation of what's coming next, and it is that feeling of you need to know. Be prepared to sit at the edge of your seat. It's emotional, it's intense, but it's all about relationships. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from my version of Rachel.
Giovanna Fletcher will be heading to Salford for that one. It's on at Lowry from the 11th to the 15th of February. Now, what is on at the Octagon? I hear you cry. Well, it's definitely a classic by Willie Russell. And I'm not talking Blood Brothers, I'm talking Shirley Valentine. Yes, we're going to transport you to sunny Greece with this beloved northern comedy. Mina Anwar will be reprising the title role in this heartwarming one-woman play following her acclaimed performance in the 2020 production at the Octagon, and it will once again see Mina resetting the play to Lancashire. She is, of course, housewife Shirley, who is stuck in a rut and frustrated. The kids have flown the nest, but what is in it for her when it comes to life? Well, when the opportunity arises, she leaves her hometown behind for a holiday in Greece to rediscover herself. This has been critically acclaimed, and you might remember it was an Oscar nominated film as well, starring Pauline Collins and Tom Conti. If you want to catch it, it's on from the 7th of February to March the 8th. Shall we end on a glorious musical? Well, actually, that's exactly what it is over at Hope Mill. A Glorious the musical is taking it to the stage. It's the true story of Florence Foster Jenkins, who was hailed the worst singer in the world. It's a really hilarious story, this one, set in 1940s New York. A socialite has dreams of becoming an opera star, but she has a dreadful singing voice. Now, starring as that particular singer is a favorite of ours, Wendy Peters. You might know that she was in Coronation Street. She's been in so many theatre shows as well. And she is going to be taking on the role of Florence. And by golly, is she going to have a lot of fun portraying her? I think she's really looking forward to being back in Manchester at Hope Mill. And this is following Florence's journey as she prepares for her concerts, builds an unlikely friendship with her young accompanist, and pursues her passion despite all the odds. If you want to see it, it's running from the 27th of February until the 30th of March. Now, that is just a snapshot of some of the exciting shows we have got to look forward to in 2025. There are so many on the way, and I am going to be telling you all about them and bringing you some of the stars from those shows right here to spotlight on stage. In the meantime, if you want to know some more theatre information and book those all important tickets, just head to our website, ilovemanchester.com/theatre. And don't forget to join me here next Monday for more theatre news, interviews with stars from the stage, and to find out what is on next week at theatres across our fair city. Have a brilliant week until then. Bye for now.